new meso
that'll
analysis
happen
about 30 or so minutes from now.
probably closer to midnight. There's a chance for some
Biggest thing
storms
is
starting
definitely the
around midnight.
SBC
Couple rounds will
to
be
see
possible.
what they do with
It'll
that
probably
moderate
rain
risk
off and on in
area,
Oklahoma City from about midnight
if they
all
change
the way through
anything at all.
10 a.m. So it'll be a long, loud night in Oklahoma City. Yeah, I do think the
93% for my
strongest storms will
Fitbit.
happen to your northeast, though, closer to Tulsa, up there towards Joplin. That's where we're watching for that big siesta.
It makes an annoying buzzing noise. A very high-pitched buzzing noise when it charges.
We also got this storm over here in Lipscomb County, Texas, upgraded. This is now a considerable severe thunderstorm up here with golf ball size hail moving down towards the town of Higgins.
Yep, I have a Fitbit. I got it like 2 years ago.
Severe thunderstorm
Or no,
warning continues
no,
over here for
almost a
Columbia
year ago from
County,
today.
Georgia, and Edgefield County, South
A year
Carolina
ago from my
for the
birthday.
next 32 minutes. And we just
So
got
it's
another
almost a year
considerable
old.
severe thunderstorm warning for Crosby, Garza, and Lubbock and Lynn counties in Texas.
I've been through like 4 different Fitbits, and this is definitely by far the best one I've had. I don't have any Apple products, so I don't have any other Apple Watches or anything. I used to have a regular watch. Early last year, that's what I had. My first Fitbit broke very early because I was like just 13 years old. And then my second one just got too old. And so when I was like 17, almost 3 years ago now, that's crazy. That's when I had my regular watch. And then my regular watch broke early last year when I was 18. And so I got a new Fitbit for my birthday when I turned 19 in June last year. And I haven't been through anything else since. So, according to that statistic, this Fitbit has about maybe another year on it before it dies. Typically, it seems like about every 2-3 years. But my first Fitbit lasted from, like I said, when I was 13 all the way to like 16. Really good Fitbit, but it didn't have a lot of features, so it was very, very basic. I wear my Fitbit every single day. Gotta know what time it is. I can't tell you how many times my family members will ask, what time is it? It's like,
right now you're
dude,
still in the middle here.
Get a
And,
watch.
we don't have
Get a
anything to worry
watch
about
like
in the
me.
near future for Wichita. There is
Come
enough
on.
instability to support the idea that this line is going to continue down.
It's
towards
crazy.
Wichita and hit again. I think that you have.
I'm the
probably
weather
seen
person
your
and the
strongest
time
storm of the day
person.
already so far, but that doesn't mean that these storms won't be strong when they get to you.
And 90% of the time when someone asks me that, it's like they are just a couple movements away from grabbing their phone. And that's it. That they're so close to grabbing their phone. Like it's in their pocket. And they ask me what time it is because they know I have a watch right on my wrist.
Just like you.
Well, yeah, I've got.
I got my
just don't
Fitbit
use it.
for fitness
We
reasons,
don't
Ben.
stream to it, you know.
Not actually for the time, but turns out I've used it way more for time. Thanks to my family. But I mean, I don't mind it too much, honestly. Especially the weather part. Like, it doesn't bug me much. I come on here and act like it bugs me, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. It's
and we've
not
got,
that much effort to just
TikTok
look
too,
at my
I don't
watch and then
use,
tell
which
you the
is
time. I don't mind it at
the
all.
problem, because we need to get back on. We need to use that again. 'Cause I think
Now,
there's
if
a
it's
good way
Lucky,
of,
I'm probably going to give Lucky
kind
a
of
fit
introducing
about it.
people to the YouTube content. It just there was a moment there where they said they was going to delete the app and like yeah, it just got really confusing. And honestly,
And I don't mind it really, Ben.
We just got really busy with the YouTube channel, so we kind of let it go. But there's like 2 million people that follow us.
That's going to be what I miss
on
when I eventually move out of this house. I know for a fact I'm going to miss my family saying, "What's the weather today? What time is it? Does it look like we're going to get any strong storms? What's happening with tornadoes, in Texas?" I'm going to miss that when I move out of this house. I know it for a fact. So I'm trying to not make it annoying, and it's not annoying.
Do you think tomorrow?
Because that's
going to
be the stuff you miss.
Tomorrow has a chance.
And I know I will. I know it. Even though it may seem like it's annoying, I know that's going to be something I'm going to get a miss for sure.
Been hit the hardest. Tomorrow definitely has the potential to impact a lot more people. Some bigger population centers are going to get hit, and it's just going to take place
Legacy.
over a much larger geographic
I mean,
area.
whenever I'm that close, my family just is shocked. Like literally last week, we were outside. What were we doing? Exercising. I don't know. We'll just go with exercising because I forgot.
There's a lot of people who just take clips
I told him,
or
I was like, it's
streams
gonna rain
and put it on
in
their
about
own TikTok
3
account
minutes,
like,
and
art
then
clips from their videos and put it on
my parents
TikTok.
were like, "How do you know?" I'm
Honestly,
like,
I love
"Because
that.
I can
wish
see
more
the
people
rain
did it.
shaft right on that mountain." And then,
Like,
sure
what
enough,
I
3
need to
minutes
do is I
later,
need to hire
it
somebody
started
to do
pouring
that.
rain.
So like if you do it for free
And then like
and you make money off of it,
3-4 days ago, I was wrong.
you know what I mean? We both win.
I thought it was gonna pour rain, but it turns out it poured rain like a little bit down the
long as it
road.
doesn't
Like
involve
literally,
the
it
storm
was
safety
5
fee
minutes
because
down the
they-
road from us is
they
where it
gotta
poured
protect their
rain.
copyright
We were
and,
on the
all
edge
that
of
good
it. Like
stuff. I
it
don't care
barely
what you
went a
rip off
little
my
to
channel
my
and put on
south.
TikTok. You got my permission.
The mod dome held on that one and made me look stupid. But that's about all I can predict out here in Virginia is if it's going to be a drizzle or a downpour. Because
We're
anything more
continuing to
than
watch the storm
anything more
over
than
here
that, like
south of
severe
Lubbock,
storms, and
bringing
it's
in
like
golf
it's
ball
mayhem.
size hail.
My parents will say, "Are we going to get damaging winds of 60 miles per hour?" Because we're in a slight
And then
risk.
we've got this really
I'm like,
strong storm over here near
as long as I'm
Cowley
here, nope, we're good.
Kansas.
We're good. As long as I stay right
This is the
here,
one
we're
that,
good. We're
Fort
not
Worth
getting
is in
nothing.
front of.
It's when I leave
over here near
that's
Cedar
the
Vale.
problem. If I leave to go chase, that's when your risk grows for severe storms. Because I have to carry the mod dome with me. They downgraded? Actually, no.
Lemon-sized hail now.
So
They've
the
upgraded
southern
again.
severe is mainly for damaging winds, 70-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail. But there is still the severe for 2-inch hail. So when they issue this new severe here, eventually wherever it may be, somewhere near Cedar Vale, back towards Sedan, that's going to be for more of hail. So there's more of a hail threat on the northern side, and then a bit more of a wind threat kind of right on the edge of the northern and the southern side.
Is going to get pretty busy. We're going to be talking.
So you
about
have
If we go
hail
live
up
tomorrow,
here,
that'll be one of the places that we talk
winds
about the
here,
most, I think.
and then completely winds down in here. So it goes wind and hail, wind and some
We just got
hail,
a new severe thunderstorm
mainly
warning
just wind. 3 parts
in
to your
North Carolina
thunderstorm
and
there.
South Carolina. Let's go check that out. Go. That's a big one.
The greatest tornado potential is with
I
that
don't know why
middle
they made
part
it so
too.
well.
Right
I
in
guess I
here
do know why.
is
We're
your
getting a lot of
some
damage
hail,
reports behind
mainly
this.
wind,
Mine that is
low end
seemingly-
tornado potential right in
I
that
mean, it doesn't
area.
look that bad on reflectivity.
I
You just
don't-
look at this, compare
I
to
don't
what
know
we've been
about it
seeing
producing a
over there in
tornado. It's
Kansas.
very
It doesn't
iffy.
look that bad, but look at all these
Very
damage
iffy.
reports. Trees on power lines in the Piedmont area. Trees across the road at Glassy Mountain. Trees down in Pumpkin Town.
What's that?
Trees down near Pickens High School.
North Carolina.
Whole trees.
Lord have mercy, that thing is huge.
All right, let's take a look at this.
That is a huge severe thunderstorm warning. Gracious day.
I mean,
Yo,
it looks
that
like in
thing
Greenville,
is
South Carolina.
crazy large. How many people are in that? I bet you could fit 2 Rhode Islands in that sucker. Let's see. 1.3 million people. 1.3 million people more than 300 schools and nearly 30 hospitals.
I'm trying to find
Dude,
in front of the winds here that gives us a good idea
1.3
of
million
what's going on.
people, over 300 schools, and almost 30 hospitals.
But
and
yeah,
that's
we
severe.
we
Crazy,
just got reports
dude.
of wind damage really close to Greenville. Trees
You
on
might be
power
able to
lines,
fit
so
3 Rhode Islands in that legacy.
that's continuing to be a problem all the way up there towards
Let's see.
Malden and Simpsonville as well.
It's producing a lot of damage, too. Look at all those damaging wind reports. It's about 85 miles from north to south and about 65 miles from west to east. Rhode Island from west to east is about 30 miles. So you can easily fit 2. You can easily fit 2. It looks about, depending on where you measure, it's about 25 to 30 miles from west to east. So easily 2. And then from north to south, about 45. So you can fit about 2 to 2.5 Rhode Islands in that severe in South Carolina.
I'm not seeing anything crazy from what I can tell. It looks
We
like
are going to
maybe
be judging the
winds
size
are,
of severe storms
happening more
based
like
off the state of
isolated
Rhode
pockets.
Island from here on out. Whenever we see a big severe storm, we're going to say that is X amount of Rhode Island's large.
Specifically on this
That's what
little
we're going to
stretch
base it off of.
Interstate 85, things look mostly tame from what I can tell. But I'll keep my eye on it. But you know, here's the thing: if you're out in front of this storm in Greenville right now,
Let's go back over to
some very strong winds. We've got tons of damage
here
reports out
again.
here. If you're out in front of this and
Give me a
Duncan,
weather-wise, man.
Spartanburg, over there towards Landrum, just know that we could potentially have damaging winds on the way, and you'll want to be prepared for those as they come on in.
I believe your cold front is still located right back in here still. Moving south. Southeast. Still don't see much notable convection
but it goes up to,
out here. There is some, but not as much as what some models were projecting. Oh wow, we're already only 7 minutes away from the new SPC outlook. That was a fast 10 minutes right there.
Out here in and around Spartanburg. So
you guys got me talking about Rhode Island.
If you're watching from Greenville, let us know. Is it pretty bad out there?
Sam, I still think it's mainly hail, and it's actually significant for hail now, and wind. There is a chance it could still drop a tornado in the future, but man, it definitely didn't do much. That MCD for tornado potential over the next 2 hours, that's gone now. So it's been about 2 hours since that MCD was issued, which I think it was issued way back out here near Guyman for like that general area, and it's expired now. Shows you how long we've been tracking that one storm. It's yet to be tornado warned across any of its lifespan. Now we're getting close to the big question. What does the SPC do with the moderate risk? And are we still anticipating an intense MCS out of this messy cold front going towards southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma? We're right at that point. Just 5 minutes away from seeing what the SPC is going to say here. About 5 minutes away. They might be a little bit later. We'll see.
Let's go back to the storm in Texas.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Keep popping back and forth here. Yeah, it'll make it up there to Spartanburg probably within the next 15 minutes.
Let's see here.
I don't know why it looks so dark on this one, but you can see the winds ripping across.
So we're going to wait.
The Preserve
to see
Verde Golf
what the
Club.
SPC does
That's
here.
around
Like
where
I said,
this
about
is.
4 minutes away
So it
from
looks like
the new
strongest
SPC
winds are
Outlook.
actually just
Newest
out in
HRRR
front of
is
the line
currently
on
rendering in
114
and probably going to
by
be
about a mile or
vastly
two,
incorrect.
from what I can tell.
And then 20
Yeah.
minutes from now, we will get the
This is about 3 miles in
meso-analysis.
front of that. So
Lots of new stuff.
okay, yeah, I was just looking in the wrong spot.
Lots of new stuff.
Here's our winds.
I think it's going to stay the same too, Ben. Maybe a little slight
Oh yeah.
cut
we got
off
us a
on the
storm.
west moderate and enhanced
So
risk.
this is what it looks like out here in Greenville.
But I think
as
the
storm
main
comes up
primary
towards
risk will
Pelham.
stay just about the same. In my opinion as well.
So if you're just now tuning in, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Spartanburg.
Legacy, I don't
and
think they
surrounding
have
areas between,
a
Greenville
measurement
and
tool
Spartanburg in South Carolina. Got about 1 million people
that
in
I
the path
know
here.
of.
We've gotten a
Otherwise,
ton
doesn't
of
have a
damage
measurement
reports
tool.
in. So
I
we're
use
taking this
Radar Omega for that.
seriously, as things continue to look more and more serious out there. Look at this.
Let me see. So your county from north to south is about 30 miles. And from west to east, it's about 25 miles. So 30 north to south, 25 west
So,
to east.
if you live out there in Spartanburg over to
So
Duncan,
Rhode Island north to
even,
west,
the
or
town
north
of
to west, what?
Tigerville over
North
there
to
towards,
south is
Landrum,
definitely larger.
down as
And then
far
it's
south
about
as
the
into
same.
Union,
Your west to
Whitmire,
east on
and
your
Woodruff
county is
in,
about the
South
same
Carolina. Get ready.
as
We've
Rhode
got
Island,
damaging winds
but
coming in
north
here
to
very
south,
soon.
Rhode Island is a little bit bigger. The fact that your county is almost the size of a state, though, is crazy. That's crazy. I can guarantee that there is a county somewhere in the U.S. that's bigger than the state of Rhode Island. It has to be in, like, Texas, right? Somewhere in the western U.S. The western U.S. has larger counties because there's less population. Seems like these counties are larger. Yep, like that's 50 north to south,
So
and this
watching these storms
is
over here in South
almost
Carolina,
90
and we're
west to
also
east. So there you go.
continuing to
First
watch,
county I just
the storms
measured
that are
right
back
there. West Central
in
Oregon,
Texas.
larger
We're
than the
just
state
gonna,
of Rhode
kind
Island.
focus on these for a little bit as we track the storms down towards Spartanburg, and then as we get updates from our storm chasers, we'll go back and forth.
Waiting to see that new severe near Cedar Vale.
I just know there's a lot of people
Should
that
see a new
are
severe
probably funneling in from over here
at any
just to
moment,
make sure
because that
we're
expires
covering
literally
this as
right
well. It
now.
looks like we're continuing to have 60 mile
Actually
per hour
shocked we
winds
don't
and
have a new
gusts.
severe right now.
And we're continuing to have these damage reports come in. We just got
There's the
one,
SPC Outlook.
trees down in Pumpkinton.
And
okay, so that part of the line.
it looks like they
producing,
shrunk the northern, the
those
complete
damaging winds
northern
about
side of the
moving
moderate
to,
risk.
Tigerville and Landrum.
So just
That's
a
there, right on the
small
border of North
sliver.
Carolina and South Carolina.
Like generally, this is an estimate. This is generally what is left of your moderate risk area. Generally, I'll show you guys it in just a moment. That's a very small approximation. But they shrunk it on the west and the north side. I don't think
Here's
they
how
expanded
many,
it at all. So ignore that little drawing where it went
South
outside of
Carolina
the
cameras. We're keeping an eye on here. We ain't gonna
moderate
miss
area.
Nothing, son. We ain't gonna miss nothing.
You know what I can show you here, maybe? I don't know if this has it early. Sometimes it has it really early, sometimes it doesn't. It does. There you go. So, big boy enhanced risk still in place, with a moderate
this is
risk
what we
still
need
in
in
effect on
Michigan.
the southern end of that.
And Illinois, and Kentucky, and Ohio, but
There you go.
we don't have this.
So, chomp the northern side and the west side. Wichita no longer in it. But they did not expand the risk at all.
So just to
Tornado
zoom out
risk
here and
also
give you a little bit more
shrunk
context,
significantly.
That's the warning that we're tracking here in
Hail
South Carolina.
probabilities. This is the new one. Actually, still shocked. Quite shocked they've kept the 30 sig. I thought they would have dropped that to 15% or
And,
15
let's real
sig.
quick go check
And
out
of course,
that latest
the very
considerable
large
severe thunderstorm
30
warning
and
in
45 sig.
Oklahoma. Newkirk and Call City, you guys are under a considerable severe thunderstorm warning.
Let's
now.
read their discussion.
We've got some damaging winds coming in here, and also some golf ball size hail.
Not a lot of confidence. Severe thunderstorms producing swaths of damaging wind gusts, some greater than 80 miles per hour. Large hail, isolated 2+ inch in diameter, and a couple of tornadoes will be possible through tonight, especially across portions of southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma.
60-mile-per-hour winds.
One or more thunderstorm clusters and/or small bows are still forecast to develop and shift east across the outlook area through tonight as a surface front and composite outflow begins to develop across the southeastern, develop southeast. My bad. Moving southeast. Thunderstorm coverage has recently increased across portions of central Kansas, likely in response to a strengthening lower-level jet, noted in a regional VWP data over the last hour, where strong surface heating has occurred and dew points remain into the upper 60s, lower 70s.
Which is funny.
Intense convection is still possible. Isolated significant wind gusts will remain possible, supported by the 0Z OUN RAOB, whatever the heck that is, maybe a sounding, observed sounding maybe, showing mid-level lapse rates near 8.5
Spartanburg, I'd say this will be to you in
mixed layer instability. The moderate risk area, level 4 out of 5, has been trimmed on the northern and the western side and confined to a thin strip across southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma, where the surface outflow is located, along with the stronger instability gradient. This corridor should have the greatest risk for significant severe thunderstorms into the nighttime hours. So probably multiple bowing segments and clusters capable of very significant damaging winds, as opposed to a derecho tonight. I do still think we could see gusts of 90 to 100 miles per hour, but I highly doubt we will see anything greater than 100 miles per hour, and I highly doubt we'll see a derecho tonight. But they did keep that moderate risk area. The new HRRR kind of shows you what the SPC is thinking here. Continuing with those clusters of damaging wind gusts, large hail, and a few tornadoes in southeast Kansas. MCS and or cluster develops out of that storm in northeast Texas, moves into western Oklahoma, new tornado warning. And then
a new tornado warning has been issued.
Forms in south central Kansas as well. So like 3 to 4 different areas of severe storms. And then look at that
stone that we were talking about.
That is
a tree that was
very
apparently struck by
eastern
lightning.
Oklahoma on the newest stage RRR.
That's in Wichita. Thank you so much for sending that in. Hopefully you guys are all right. I know we've had a really long day of severe weather in Wichita. It's not over. More storms are on the way.
Well, Kaylee, look at that. That's
we do have a new tornado warning we need to talk about.
But it is just the model run, so I doubt it's gonna.
So our storm that
I doubt it's gonna verify
Jordan
just
Hall
like
is
that.
on, and Storm Chaser RRL and these guys is now tornado warned. We've got a significant amount
hopefully
of
you would be
rotation
hit by that
visible
little
via
weak,
radar
see
here
that little
coming into
weak
Ellis
spot
and
right there?
Rogers
Maybe that
Mills
would go right over
counties
your
in
house and do
Oklahoma.
like 50 mile an hour
we
winds.
are going to
Nothing near
monitor
90.
this through our Storm Chaser feeds.
Maybe.
And also radar as the storm gets closer to
You'll likely
some
be
places
fine,
like
honestly,
Cheyenne
if you
and
just
Strong
stay
City.
weather
But in the
aware,
meantime,
keep an
this
eye on
warning
things.
polygon here, we've got
If you
about
do
300
plan
people
to
in
go
it.
to sleep
So the
instead of
odds
staying
if
up and
there's a
watching the
tornado in
risk,
here,
which,
the odds
like
of
I
it
said,
hitting
it's going to
somebody
hit you
are
near
pretty
1
low
a.m.,
right now,
so I
that's
wouldn't
good.
blame
But
you.
if you're in
Just make sure your
Dreyfus or
phone's charged
down here
fully
between
turned
Durham
up.
and
That
Crawford
will
and
wake you
Roll,
up.
you need to be taking shelter.
And
Yeah, and that's a
know where
significant
your
area
safe
of
spot
rotation.
is.
It's a little bit high up in the storm, but that translates down to the
so
surface.
for the first
That'll
time
be,
in this
the,
storm's
a recipe for a
lifespan, it is
tornado there
now
for sure.
tornado warned, and I have a pretty good feeling on why.
Also,
the National Weather
Sharon,
Service jurisdiction
Oklahoma, you
has
guys are under a
changed
severe
here
thunderstorm warning now.
from, what is this, Amarillo? Yep, it has changed from Amarillo, Texas to Norman, Oklahoma. And Norman, Oklahoma, that is a National Weather Service that never messes around with any storm. So if they think a storm is even remotely close to capable of producing a tornado, they're going to warn it. And with even the lack of radar coverage out here, it still could try to produce a tornado, and thus they have issued a tornado warning in this area in west central Oklahoma.
Yeah, look at all these reports. This big pocket of wind that's now moving through Greenville, South Carolina,
a tornado
kind of started out down here in Alabama.
So right now we're dealing with two main clusters of all hazards
all
here.
Through,
one
Georgia,
in west central Oklahoma,
Atlanta, up there,
one in north
near the great
central
town of
Oklahoma, southeast Kansas. More tornadic one is definitely the one in west central Oklahoma. And really for wind and hail, they both pose about the same hazards. 60, 70 mile an hour winds, 1 to 2 inch hail possible with both of them. Greatest tornado threat is currently focused with that red tornado warning. Well northwest of Elk City in Oklahoma. I don't think we'll see a PDS severe watch anymore tonight. Maybe we'll see a high-end severe watch, but I don't think we'll see a PDS severe watch anymore. Not with how small that moderate is at the moment. They've shrunk it quite a lot. Let's see. This storm's moving out of the most favorable environment. It's actually not in a good environment. It's in an okay environment, but definitely not really good. It could produce a tornado, but not really a good area environment-wise, especially wind shear-wise. Yeah, Caden, but how far are you looking? I can't even tell you. That's like, what, 110 miles away, right? That's got to be about 110. Yep. Look at that, 110, 111 miles away. They ain't gonna be reading any accurate radar data. Let's see exactly how high up it's looking. This is approximately almost 12,000 feet up into the atmosphere. So that is very inaccurate radar data. Oh, they did issue that severe for Cedar Vale. All the way down to an ordinary severe for 1 inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds. Still does have that poor possible tag, though. So this storm's on a weakening trend based off the warnings. Severe thunderstorm warning for 1.5 inch hail and about 50 mile an hour winds west of Wichita. Once again, west-northwest side of Wichita inside of severe, I think for the third or fourth time today. Hard to say how strong that area of rotation is or how notable it is, but it is trying to likely produce a tornado. It's trying to produce a tornado. Why does it look like that, though? What you mean? Velocities are corrupted, but honestly, the reflectivity is probably still somewhat accurate with a very large supercell in this area. Which is the closest? I would go with... Man, both of them aren't good. Neither of them have a clear beam. Let's see. This one's about 115 miles away. Amarillo's about 110. I would go with Amarillo because it's a little bit cleaner of a beam, and it's just a little bit closer. But really, both of them are bad. This is right in the radar hole I was talking about earlier this year, where it seems like we get a lot of storms to fire up in Oklahoma. Seems like a lot of storms like to fire in this area with big time dry line events in May. But even right now, just because of an outflow boundary, this storm fired off and it's moved into this radar hole. The Amarillo one definitely is looking through precipitation for sure. I'll be right back, y'all. I'm going to quickly go do something. Give me about 2-3 minutes. I might be a little longer because I want to go do something extra. So give me just a bit. I'll leave you guys on this supercell. I'll be right back in about 2, maybe 3 minutes. Got to make sure you get up every once in a while. Get a snack. Go get a drink. Get some water. And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm telling you, just getting up once every hour or two, it really helps with staying live longer. Just to be able to get up, walk around for a minute. Let's see what we got here. Whoa. Yeah, Proxy, what's crazy is that just came across my feed, and I just looked in the comments, and it said posted like a minute ago that you added me, or no, like 5 seconds ago that you added me in it. Yeah, so there's a mobile radar here, and it has a likely strong tornado on the ground. So likely a strong tornado ongoing with this storm just to the east of Higgins. It's on the border of Oklahoma, Texas. It's now into Oklahoma. So the tornado is going to be located likely just barely west of Highway 283, south of Highway 60, southwest of Arnett, Oklahoma. A new MCD for up to 90 mile an hour winds. So definitely not PDS severe watchworthy. Definitely not PDS severe watchworthy. But gradual increase in storm convection is expected this evening. One or more MCS capable of severe wind gusts will be possible. A new watch will be needed. So that's your MCD for the main watch. That's your main watch. And it does mention a severe watch or a tornado watch. But likely tornado watch. I don't see it going PDS severe thunderstorm watch anymore. Let's see. While overall convective evolution is very uncertain, strong air mass in place. Yep, observed warning. All right, we'll switch over to this one for the first time today. We're going to switch over to this scene because we've caught an observed warning in the middle of the stream. I think we did have one earlier in the stream in south of Wichita, but I think I forgot to change for that one. But there is a strong tornado ongoing. A little surprised they didn't actually pull out the PDS tag, not going to lie. Might just not be populated enough. Sometimes they pull PDS for strong tornadoes in rural areas, but most of the time it's in populated areas with a strong tornado that they'll pull that tag. So tornado's been observed out here southwest of Arnett, Oklahoma. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Very strong surface-based instability and a large clockwise curved hodograph will continue to favor the risk for tornadoes, some possibly strong, and large hail in the near term. So they mention a strong tornado threat on their new MCD, which, considering we're likely seeing one right now southwest of Arnett, Oklahoma, that's definitely already verified. But this is on a small 5% day. I mean, the 5% is still, it's still, that's not the new one. It's still a good sized 5% for their new outlook, but pretty surprising to see them mention strong tornadoes. Pretty surprising. Let's see here. Oh my, yeah. Very strong tornado ongoing right now with this. It has a vortex hole on radar. Mobile radar has a vortex hole on this. There's a chance I could look at this. I think I know a site. But it's not the normal radar truck we have. Let's see. Nah. Nope. Not the site I normally use. Okay. So strong tornadoes on the ground right now, south of Arnett, Oklahoma. Based off of, let's see, actually, what is this based off of? Because I could tell you it is from mobile radar. Broadcast media confirmed a tornado, but mobile radar also has a tornado on the ground here. So 2 things to confirm that. And it's very difficult to say how strong it is from our radar sites, our main radar sites. But again, there is a Dow out here on this storm that has a tornado on the ground.
New information.
Very high definition.
This tornado warning has been upgraded.
Showing a strong tornado, strong to potentially intense tornado on the ground here. With a vortex hole, which basically means that rain is wrapping around the entire tornado, and it's a lot more common to see on Dow trucks. Dow trucks give higher resolution and closer radar imagery, so it's not as rare as seeing it on our main radars. On our main radars, like the one I'm using here, it's a bit rare because your data is not as high definition as a mobile truck. But mobile radars, very high definition and very close to the storm. So that is again, strong tornado, likely still ongoing here, close to Crawford, heading towards Crawford, south of Arnett in west central Oklahoma. Looks like some more storms are firing out here in Oklahoma. A lot more cells now. We have a few cells up here, a new severe attached to a cluster out here, and then of course our main supercell back out in this area. So definitely some more cells fired now in Oklahoma, which should contribute to a messier risk. Likely not going to see a derecho today, but we have more storms, thus allowing for a better chance for more widespread damaging winds with a bunch more clusters as opposed to just one line. Yeah, still a strong tornado ongoing here. Heading very close to Crawford in Oklahoma. The radar truck, by the way, radar truck is literally like right here. It's literally right in here, scanning right into the storm. Right into the hook echo. So it's got a perfect beam. Perfect radar beam. Not sure how long this thing's going to be able to last, but I do know it is a very intense tornado. Based off of radar. Environment, not very impressive for a lower level environment, but shoot. Saw a strong tornado for 50 minutes yesterday in a not impressive environment, so here we go again. We'll see how long this one lasts.
Getting indoors, staying away from windows for sure.
We did get that
All right,
new
let's come back up
muzzle
here
skill
to
discussion. I don't
Jordan's
think I
view of
showed
this
y'all.
massive storm over there in western Oklahoma. We do have a tornado warning
Let's see.
for 21 more minutes. It's been observed
Wait
by
for the slow
broadcast
SPC
media.
site to load.
So we're assuming this is down somewhere in there.
Even from this far, that looks crazy from this far.
In all that rain, there's a tornado.
I mean, a lot of it just looks like side lobe from this far, but
Brody,
again, we have a radar truck
thank
that
you for the 5 gifted memberships.
confirms strong to intense tornadoes ongoing here near Roll. I don't think it's going to be able to last long. It should break apart probably fairly soon, I would imagine. Actually, Proxy just added me in something. Proxy, look at that. That's a small tornado. Wow, you think this thing is going to be like huge or something with those velocity signatures in the vortex hole, but it's a tiny little thing. It's likely roping out according to the last scan. It shows inflows beginning to decrease. So it's likely starting to weaken and might lift. I wouldn't say it's going to lift, because we've
I
seen
definitely don't see
tornadoes
nothing in there,
weaken before and then
but,
immediately
if
strengthen
there
back
was a
up before
tornado going on
lifting,
right now,
so,
you wouldn't be able to see it.
it just at the
So
moment
that's
it's
the thing.
weakening.
But as it moves off to the east and to the southeast, we do have to start thinking about maybe eventually being under a tornado warning over there near Leedy and Camargo. So that's something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. That this might be something that we have to deal with here
So we'll
over the
keep
next
watching
little
that very closely.
bit. We do have a tornado
We're gonna
possible,
just stay with
considerable
this. It's
severe
our only
thunderstorm
tornado
warning that
warning, and it
continues
is an
here
observed
all the way down into Custer,
tornado
Dewey,
warning.
and Ellis counties in Oklahoma. This does include Strong City and Leedy. That tornado possible tag.
The look
is
for
on there, and
tomorrow is
lemon-sized hail as well.
insane. Very bad look for tomorrow.
And then we got a new severe thunderstorm warning over
we got
here
an
near
update on
Medicine
this
Lodge.
warning.
This is for Barber and
Oh,
Pratt
radar
counties in
indicated.
Kansas.
Okay. All
Look
right.
at
Back to
that,
here.
man. This
Radar
we're
indicated.
continuing to look at that
it
shelf
is.
cloud on the front
Gotcha.
side of the
So it is lifted.
supercell that's racing down to the
Gotta show you tomorrow.
southeast into Ellis and Roger Mills
hate
counties
to do
in
it to you,
Oklahoma. This does have a
Tomorrow
tornado
is another
warning on it.
big weather day, and
you know, Jordan's got
unfortunately,
the drone in the air
it's
right
looking
now.
more and more possible
So
for
that's
a
gonna be some
probable
cool video
tornado
going up on
outbreak
Twitter
across
here soon.
Illinois and Indiana for tomorrow.
Or X, whatever.
Hopefully that's not the case, but it looks like intense supercells will begin to fire towards
New considerable
1 to 2
severe
p.m.
thunderstorm warning
Eastern
just
time,
issued for Garza and
in
Lubbock
central
and Lynn counties
Illinois,
in Texas. This does include the town of
and
Post,
track
so we do have
all the way
about 8,000 people in the
into,
path here. So get ready for some
southern
golf ball size hail
Michigan.
and 70-mile-per-hour winds riding down Highway 84 over the next hour.
So it looks like we could have quite the prolific tornado event tomorrow. Very favorable environment. Quite a low amount of wind shear, but still enough. Really good
Solid.
instability. Temperature's about 86, 85 with dew points towards the low to mid 70s. So really, really good.
Of course.
Maybe a
Right now,
little bit
I'm
high on
walking
those
back.
temperatures.
Whatever
Maybe
his name
not
was.
complete
He said during my
surface-based
That is
storms, but
plumb wild.
I think they will be surface-based. Honestly, they likely will be. So,
Was
not a good look.
That was like a few minutes
Definitely
ago,
could
though.
see a large upgrade to a 10
yawning
significant
because
tornado
of you.
risk. I still think the most probable area for a
No, I
10
know.
sig
I never
tor
yawn,
is
I'm
southern
yawning.
Michigan, but I wouldn't be
uh,
shocked to see a 10 sig tor go all the way from
to
potentially
all my Twitter.
west of Chicago
I'm watching
back down into
Truth
Illinois,
Storm
all
trees
the way back
right
up
now.
into Ohio and southern Michigan. I don't know exactly how that would look on the SPC, but just generally that area, I think
We're
has
hearing
a pretty
reports
good chance at
from
seeing
broadcast
multiple strong
media,
tornadoes.
that there is
Looking at updraft
some
helicity
debris
swaths, 'cause
being
come
seen
on, we
out
got
here.
it.
Now, we're still not seeing a
Definitely
tornado,
quite the
but,
look.
we've got
Not-
large
not
tree limbs
insanely
falling out
intense,
of the
but,
sky. So
very
totally believe
obvious
that, right?
swaths
this is
of
this
stronger
at some point was
supercells
producing a big tornado. It might
embedded
even still be
inside,
producing a big tornado, and there's certainly some
clustered
debris
line.
that could be falling out of the sky there. So if you're hearing that,
So we'll see
that's,
how
it's
how
on
things
par
look in the
with
morning,
reality.
but
The good
I
news
would
is
definitely be
that
leaning towards
latest
potentially a more
scans
prolific
are
tornado outbreak tomorrow.
not as intense, I
potentially
guess,
one of
as
the more
this moves
prolific
towards
outbreaks
some
for
more
tornadoes
populated
we've
areas
seen
like
in a
Lee and
little while.
Camargo. Maybe it won't continue to produce a big tornado, but of course we'll have to watch and see if it cycles.
I
or
can't
something
think
like
of the
that.
most
A new
prolific one
tornado
we've seen in
warning has been
June.
issued.
They did go ahead and issue a new tornado
A new
warning,
tornado warning has
and
been
that's gonna
issued.
be
At the
for
moment.
areas just to the east of the one that is already in place. So it's basically the same tornado warning. They just moved it off to the east a little bit.
Yeah, could be
And,
quite the
it really doesn't
outbreak
change
sequence
anything.
tomorrow.
We've got a
Hopefully,
couple
things
extra
there is a
creeks
chance.
that are included
Storm
here
mode
now.
could easily
Total of,
destroy the whole threat.
67 people
Very
approximately
easily.
are in this polygon. So
Right
if
now,
you
the
live out here near
HRRR
the
shows
Pax Saddle
multiple
Wildlife Management area, we're
embedded
encouraging you
intense
to take shelter
supercells
immediately.
inside of a cluster. If it goes from cluster to linear, it could completely demolish that strong tornado threat, and we'll be dealing with maybe a couple possible tornadoes tomorrow, possibly a strong one. But if this look remains, we're going to be dealing with multiple strong tornadoes possible, maybe even a long-tracked tornado possible for tomorrow. If this remains, the chance of this remaining, I'd say, is kind of 50-50. We'll see how today plays out, and then in the morning we'll see how models look, and
Continuing to
especially
get,
how
damage
cloud
reports
cover
out
looks.
of South Carolina and North Carolina.
And we'll figure out what's
There's
the
a tree
most
down
likely
in
case
Landrum.
scenario from there
Also,
on out.
somebody said that there was significant winds in North Carolina of the likes.
We'll
they
probably
haven't
be
seen
live.
since
I'm
Hurricane
thinking we'll
Helene.
probably be live early tomorrow.
So
I don't.
yeah,
I
definitely
can't.
some strong wind gusts moving through North Carolina.
I can't go live early tomorrow. Dang.
And South Carolina. Next
Oh
in line,
no,
we've
it's
got Forest
Wednesday.
City,
Tomorrow was
Shelby,
one of the
Gaffney,
only days this
places
week I
like
can't go
Packard,
live very
Jonesville,
early.
Union. You guys are all going to be hit here soon.
I think
by,
I could
some
still go
damaging
live
winds.
probably around 1:30 or
The
so.
part that's going through
I could
South
probably
Carolina
still do
honestly
that.
is weakened a lot. I
I
think
don't. I
the part
probably
that's
won't be
still
able to go
probably
live any
packing a
sooner
bit of a
than that.
punch is going to be that little sliver up here in North
But
Carolina
we'll
that's about to
probably
hit
end up streaming.
Rutherford,
I'd say we could be live as early
Thermal
as
Valley, Forest City, up there
noon,
towards
1 p.m.
Boiling
tomorrow.
Springs.
Might end up being an all-day stream. Proxy, I would say widespread tornado threat. The peak is probably going to be from about 2 p.m. At least from what I can see. Probably about 2:30, 3 p.m. Eastern till 6, 7 o'clock. But even after 6, 7 o'clock, we could still see multiple strong tornadoes in southern Michigan. But in terms of a widespread strong tornado threat, the peak should be from generally 3 to 6 p.m. But we could still see strong tornadoes beyond that time frame in southern Michigan. I don't think our event tomorrow will be done till probably about 9 o'clock. I think about 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock Eastern, our event's going to calm down.
Go ahead.
Around this time tomorrow, things are probably going to be dying out. Whereas right now, things are just starting to likely begin to re-intensify
The southern
out here in
plains are
Oklahoma
seeing
and
large
Kansas.
hail,
And
up to
I don't know,
golf
it doesn't
ball
really,
sized in Texas and ping pong ball sized in Oklahoma.
in my opinion, this does
alongside
not
a
scream
recent
intense
68
NCS
miles per
tonight.
hour wind gust near McAdoo, Texas. South Carolina is taking a beating from widespread thunderstorm wind damage, especially in Greenville,
In my opinion,
Spartanburg,
it doesn't
Pickens,
scream
and
intense
Anderson
NCS.
counties, with numerous trees and power lines down in places like Simpsonville and Malden, plus a tree on a house in Greenville County. And there's also a report of a large ash tree downed by thunderstorm winds
New
in
tornado
Granger,
warning for 12
Indiana.
more minutes there. Likely this storm's trying to re-intensify, drop another tornado. Still southeast of Arnett, west
Looks like the
central
rotation's
Oklahoma.
trying to come back together a little bit on this storm in Oklahoma. So we'll, once again, it looks like Jordan's going to be able to stay out in front of this. So if this does anything, we'll definitely see it.
Let's see here.
Hey Ryan, just heard about some pretty
We have
strong
definitely had some
winds down
crazy
in
mobile
Spartanburg
radar
County,
data
South
this
Carolina.
year.
An NWS employee near Roebuck reported
Absolutely
a thunderstorm
crazy.
wind gust of 60 miles per hour about 11 minutes ago. They said they were seeing frequent gusts in the 50 to 60 miles per hour range.
So it sounds like the winds, as they were going through Spartanburg, were still pretty strong.
Oh no,
So we
this
expect those to continue.
we're
continue
going
to
to keep
move
dealing
off to
with
the
severe
north
weather
and
for the next
east.
week straight. I don't see an end in sight at the moment for severe storms being possible in the U.S. We'll likely have some capping issues going into the weekend, but I still think we'll see severe storms.
Christine
And
says,
I
just
really
had,
don't see this
those high
pattern
winds
ending.
come
We
through
are in an
Brevard, North
active
Carolina, several trees down
phase
in
of
my
a ridge
neighborhood.
riding trough. And that will probably last until the beginning of July. Or the end of June. So you're looking at a
Took
good
shelter
week
in
or
my
two
closet.
nearly
It was pretty
straight
bad and pretty scary
of severe
in
weather
Spartanburg.
potential.
So it's still packing a punch. The winds
How
were
many of
definitely
those will be
stronger, I think,
significant
to the
enough for a
west,
live
which is
stream?
pretty crazy
Well,
because the radar presentation
find out as
really
we get
didn't look
closer.
like it was that bad.
But we'll see. Decent velocities there southwest of Garden Plain. Let's go to our analysis radar that I no longer have over Wichita.
But it's still chugging along up there towards Macedonia or Macedonia.
Open a third one real quick. Not strong velocities, but just something to keep an eye on. I doubt it's going to do anything.
But they
we'll
are
keep an eye
falling
on
apart.
it.
The farther east these storms get, the less intense they're going to get. Like they're going to run out of
Let's go
fuel
back
here pretty
south
soon.
here.
Specifically talking
Continuing
about
to
the
watch
ones
our tornado
in
warning.
South Carolina and North Carolina, of
Currently
course.
active southeast of Arnett, Oklahoma. As a tornado could drop at any moment. We'll wait to see. Wait to see if it strengthens up a lot or not.
Yeah, we'll go back to Wichita real quick.
There's a
I
few
know we've got
chasers on
people
here, and we
waiting on
also
an
have that
update.
mobile
Looks
radar
like
truck too.
a lot of the storm chasers that were out here around
So,
Wichita
if it does
are
touch down,
already
we should know quite
leaving.
quickly.
It looks like Corey Gherkin and Storm Runner Media both are on their way to wherever they're going to be tomorrow. But Wichita, things
Still
are
radar
about to
indicated
get
for 8 more
pretty
minutes on
wild in
both these
Wichita. I'm not
warnings.
gonna lie, like this.
We'll see if a new one gets
This
issued
just
here
keeps
in
getting
5 or so
worse,
minutes.
and I don't think that it's going to be as bad on the wind front.
Likely a little bit more than 5 minutes. We'll see.
But my
Before that
goodness,
warning
if we don't have
expires
a
in 8
pretty
minutes, we should
substantial
see a new tornado.
flash flood threat setting up
unless
for
they
the
don't
Wichita
believe it's
area here.
capable of
There's a lot
producing
of
anymore.
moisture, a lot of rain compiling together here. This is a bunch of cells, and they're all going to slide right through Wichita before turning into that big nasty line of storms.
Man, that
we've
cold
been
front has a
talking
lot of
about.
work to do, doesn't it?
So yeah, this is probably producing
It's
some
got a
pretty big hail
lot of
right
work
now.
to do.
This specific cell
It's got to try to
down
congeal
here
this
around
entire
Garden Plain
slop
and Goddard. And that's going to
into
move over towards
a
Hayesville and
somewhat
Wichita.
organized
This one's going to
NCS
hit
tonight.
and then this is going to hit, and then whatever else forms back here is going to hit. And once again, I do think we're going to have a pretty
It
significant
looks like a near
flash flooding
impossible
situation
task to me.
for our friends in
I mean, it's
Wichita.
going
Get
to take
ready
a couple
for it.
hours. It probably will be close to
Is there somewhere I can send
midnight,
a video?
1
Yeah,
a.m.
send that over on
before it does so. I mean,
community@ryanhallyall.com.
still a good 2.5, 3 hours from that really intensifying.
I believe we still got people watching
A notable amount,
the inbox there.
in my
So,
opinion.
if you got damage or something,
But we are starting
send
to
us an
see some
email
more
or
severes on it.
Twitter @RyanHallYall.
It's after 9 o'clock, which is what I was talking about after 9 for the main MCS to try to form, and we're up to 2 severes on it. But I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll see. Our tornado watch expires here at 11
Wichita,
o'clock
get ready.
Eastern. We will see.
Like I said, it's going to be a long night. Let me come over to
decent probability tornado watch
this thing real
issued
quick here.
before 11 Eastern.
By the way, here's the updated SPC outlook for the
I
rest
don't
of the night.
believe we'll see a PDS
We
severe watch
maintain
anymore.
that moderate risk of severe weather between Woodward over to Tulsa, so we do
just
continue
too
to expect
disorganized.
damaging winds down here tonight. Enhanced risk from
Too
near Topeka all the way down to
disorganized and too
Oklahoma
much
City.
uncertainty on convective
That's what we're looking
evolution.
at tonight. Let me also show you the outlook for tomorrow real quick, because I know there's people interested.
Still could see a tornado
slight
drop
risk
at any point here,
from
southeast of Arnett, Oklahoma.
Texas to Michigan, and then enhanced risk from Michigan down into
From
the
just
southeastern
using this radar
portions
site, it's
of
impossible to tell
Missouri.
if there is
So that's
a
what we'll be
tornado on the
talking
ground
about
or not.
tomorrow. And then let's go over to. Let me actually
So,
reload this and
we'll just
do
keep watching
the
it.
HRRR.
As close as we can.
Because we do have the 0Z. We've got 42 frames of the 0Z in, so that's good.
Ben, I don't know.
So this is what the radar could look like tonight.
I don't know.
For the rest of the night, it does look like it won't be finished.
I'll see
in
about seeing if I
Wichita
can get
until
GR
after
Earth
midnight.
back, because
So
GR Earth is
starting
definitely
about
the best
30
for
minutes from now
MRMS and winter
through
weather.
the next 3, maybe 4 hours,
But
it's going to be storming.
outside of that,
pretty
GR2 analysis I
significantly
use for winter
in
weather.
Wichita. So get ready for that.
And then
Flash
maybe
flooding's going to be a
weather-wise,
big
we'll
problem
see.
here. We're also going to have several chances for
I'll probably
damaging
use a
winds and
mixture
large
of radar
hail.
mega, weather-wise,
We're
GR2
going to have a
analysis,
very strong
and if I
line of
have a GR
storms
Earth.
move through
like I
southeastern
did
Kansas,
last year.
northeastern Oklahoma. This is going to cause damaging winds. Every run of the HRRR, every run has been different and pretty inconsistent.
Let's see.
But every single one of them has shown a
about those
significant
storms
damaging
in
wind
Texas.
event around Joplin, Missouri. So I'm almost certain that at some point
Still
we're going to see a
producing mainly
Boeing
wind
line segment
and,
move through Joplin,
hail.
Missouri tonight, and that's probably going to happen sometime between midnight and 3 a.m. So get ready for that. We might have some strong winds around Springfield
They're
down to
updating all
Fort
those
Smith
severes
as
in
well.
Texas right
And
now, which
also,
is only
we're going to
2.
have the potential for a lot of heavy
they just
rain and
both
some
got
flooding in
updated.
Tulsa. So the rain could start around midnight to 1 a.m., and it doesn't look like it's really going to come to an end till close to 9 a.m., right? So get ready for that over here. And the storms are probably going to die out before they get to St. Louis tomorrow morning.
Yep.
But then
Really
something
CC and
interesting
precipitation.
happens.
That's all you need.
We are going to see a reignition
I mean,
of
weather-wise,
storms tomorrow
GR2,
around 3 p.m. Eastern.
Radar Omega.
And these are going to be some cells that form over here.
Radar scope. They all
near
have it.
southern portions.
I think
of
the
Illinois
best is
and
probably,
over towards
honestly,
western,
I think weather-wise is
Indiana,
probably the
up there towards
best.
Chicago.
Weather-wise and
We might have severe
GR2 analysis.
weather around 4 p.m.
Probably
or
the best
so.
for
And these
winter
do
weather
look like they're going to be strong
in terms
and
of individual
there
radar
is
sites.
There's
And then
a,
GR Earth
a
is definitely the
decent
best
tornado
for
aspect, to
MRMS.
these storms, especially the ones that will happen near Chicago up here in Indiana. We'll have to watch that. It doesn't look like it's going to be like a big tornado outbreak or anything, but it's certainly something that we're going to keep
4
an
minutes
eye
left
on
on both of these
as the
radar indicated
storms,
tornado
also move
warnings, and
into
no
the
new warning
Indianapolis
just
area.
yet.
Very large hail, damaging winds are going to be possible in
Whether or not they
Evansville
issue that
area
new
around
warning's
4
likely
p.m.
going to be
Looks
based
like these
off
storms are
of
going to
what
make it
the
into
radar track
Louisville,
out here is
Cincinnati
seeing.
around 7 p.m. And then, of course, we're going to be watching Michigan from as early as
Look at that.
5
Downtown
p.m.
Wichita
and Kalamazoo around
in
6
its
p.m. Detroit,
third
8 p.m.
significant severe
So
of the day.
it's going to be an all afternoon
1.75
and
inch
evening
hail,
kind of thing
70
for
mile an hour winds.
Michigan.
And this
then
one's going to head
Ohio,
right
it
into
doesn't look like
downtown
the
Wichita.
Ohio's going to get the worst of it. The western side has the best chance of
Significant
seeing
severe
some
there.
winds, some damaging
Moving
winds, and
towards
some hail
downtown Wichita. Will
between
be in
7
downtown
p.m.
Wichita
and
in
9
probably
p.m.
about 30
and,
or so
things are going
minutes.
to calm down as the storms, lose the steam later in the day. But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, is that reignition of storms.
Let's see about
that
people without
pops up
power
on this
in
boundary
Wichita.
here, associated with that spinning low pressure that just zips up past Chicago.
I'm not
there.
too sure. I'm not too sure, Caleb.
It's going to be, once again, it'll be a really interesting day tomorrow to track storms. And we will be doing
Let's
that.
see.
And it's possible that we'll even be back again
Man,
on
they're both
Thursday
square
as,
counties. I
reignition
can't tell which one's
of
Wichita.
the storms are going to be possible over here on the East Coast. So
looks
likely,
like
but possible.
15,000 people. 15,000 people without power in Wichita. Northport, Florida. Eesh. Dude, you want to go any further south? Like, dang.
All right, let's come back over here to the radar
yeah.
and to the Wichita, Kansas area.
If you're on the west side, like the coastal area, even then, yeah. Like this whole area is gonna get hit with this storm. I don't know how long it's gonna last, so I don't know if it's gonna make it up to Sarasota or not. But definitely. Maybe some lightning.
We are
and
seeing
then
a
very heavy
significant
rain,
storm move
but
into the western side
I don't
of Wichita.
think it's going to be like anything
we've
like
got,
hail or damaging
some-
winds. I
probably
don't
some
think we're
large
going to see
hail
much of that
happening
out of
right
that.
now.
So.
In Goddard, we've got
Well, actually
golf
looking
ball
like
size
they
hail
may
being
not
released.
reissue this
severe
tornado warning.
thunderstorm warning has been issued. A new
And,
PBS
Wow,
severe
destructive.
thunderstorm
Our
warning has
first
been issued.
destructive
And actually, back down here in
of
Oklahoma,
our main
we've got
event
a new
for
PBS severe
80 mile an hour
thunderstorm warning
winds.
just issued. This is going to be for 80
And it's
mile
in
per
the
hour
enhanced
winds,
risk, and this is your new
down
risk, by
here
the way.
near the town of Lee.
That is in
so
the
get ready
enhanced
in
risk area.
Lee
There's your
for
new tornado risk,
1.5 inch hail and 80 mile per hour winds.
new hail risk, and your new wind risk. All of this came out 45 minutes ago. I just never showed it
that's the
on
storm
this
that we've been
software. I
tracking
did show it to you
via
guys when it first came
Gordon
out, but
Hall's
not on
camera
this.
above me.
Where earlier it was winds, but now not anymore.
Verified.
Well,
We
there's
are
a risk-
quite
we did
far
just get
from
a
that,
new
to
severe
be
thunderstorm
honest.
warning and another
4 out of
considerable
5.
severe thunderstorm warning.
We
for
are quite far from
Bartlesville,
that.
And
Hail threat,
Pawhuska
yes.
in
Tornado
Oklahoma. This is
risk,
Osage and
yes.
Washington counties.
Wind
We're
threat,
talking about,
I think we are
golf ball
quite
size
far.
hail and 70 mile per hour winds coming in over the next
That's what
hour
Chris
or
said
so.
on his live.
Apparently we had a tornado in South Dakota, one in Nebraska, 2 in Wyoming, 1 in Colorado, and 1 in Kansas, and then the 1 in Oklahoma. So I would say, actually, I don't even know about your tornado threat. Honestly, we've had 1 strong tornado and then 1 other tornado. I don't think your tornado risk verified that well, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
We had a
golf ball
strong
size
tornado
hail
in
and
the
70 mile per
2%.
hour winds. That's what
We
we're
had
talking about
a
in Wichita,
one
Kansas
single
as well. There's
tornado
500,000 people
out
in this warning
here
here.
south of Harper.
And the strongest part
been
of the
it.
storm right now is currently over there near Goddard.
And remember, this
And it's moving
5%.
towards
I mean, I'm pretty sure this 5%
Schult,
was much larger
Vidale,
earlier.
Cessna, and Westlink
So
Village.
I would say the only thing that's actually verified
y'all
so
get
far
ready.
is
It's
hail.
going to be a rough one.
And even then, the hail threat hasn't been extremely widespread.
Yeah, we have received
like, I
over
don't think we saw much
300
hail up in
reports
this
today.
area.
Where the National Weather Service,
I'd say probably your hail threat has verified. I'd say
not
your
even
tornado
today.
threat is,
Actually, it's way more than 300 for the day.
in my opinion, it
It's
is not fully
actually,
performed yet. And then your
probably
wind
over
threat, in my
1,000 if
opinion,
you
is not
count,
even close.
You know, the morning complex of storms, which produced 101 mile per hour wind gusts near Wichita, Kansas. So over the past 12 hours, our
I don't think
biggest
your wind threat was
wind
even
report has
close
been
to
80 miles per
verifying
hour.
yet.
Also,
Now it's not
there near
over.
Wichita and Andover.
Your cold front
And then,
is up
Arc
here
City,
near
we had a
Hutchinson.
nearly 4
So the only area
hailstone
that's
reported.
done
So
with
Kansas definitely
likely
on top of the
severe
leaderboard today with
storms
the hail
is
and the wind.
anybody
Total of 6 tornado
just
reports have been
northwest of
received today,
Hutchinson.
84 hail reports and 63
I don't
wind
think we will see
reports.
much activity back here for the rest of the night. I don't think this area is going to see much. Likely nothing severe back there. So, yeah, in my opinion, tornado threat is underperformed a little bit. Wind risk has not performed to any extent, and the hail risk has barely performed. Because remember, the last moderate risk we had for wind, we saw 2 to 3 100-mile-an-hour wind
This is what it
gusts
looks like right now at
and
the Wichita State
multiple
University.
80 to 90 mile
You
per
can
hour
see some of the
destructive
lightning in the
severes
distance there.
for
and, as
like
this
4
part of the
hours
storm over here
straight.
near Goddard gets closer, you're going to see this
Wasn't classified as a
really
derecho though,
ominous-looking shelf
because
cloud,
well, it didn't
that's,
last
gonna
long
be
enough,
visible
didn't
here
travel
for
far
most
enough,
people
and
in
wasn't
Wichita,
wide enough.
over the next hour or
But
so.
that was our last moderate.
So
and this
watch
is not
the,
even remotely
left
close
side
to
of the
that.
screen there as we continue to keep our eyes on this.
But again, main event is not over yet. The main event is going to last until probably near 2 a.m. Eastern time. So there's plenty of time for our wind risk to verify. No more tornado warnings. We are back down on severes here. We're down to 16. That's actually up. Last time I checked, it was 9. It's back up to 16. So nearly doubled since the last time I checked. And we actually have our first destructive for wind. We've had plenty of destructives for hail. I think about 3 or 4 for hail. And this is our first one for wind.
Go ahead, y'all bot.
It's for 80
All
mile an
right,
hour
Ryan,
winds.
Buckle up. I've got a ton of storm reports
80
for you.
mile an hour winds here.
Oklahoma saw a 63 mile per hour wind gust near Forker. Tennessee
Also, our
seen
new
trees down in
watch
Hawkins
should
and
be
Sullivan
issued according to the
counties,
SPC.
While South Carolina reports widespread trees down in
before
Newberry,
11
Spartanburg, and Lexington
Eastern.
counties, including estimated
So
60
we should
mile
see a
per
new
hour
watch
gusts
in
near
about an
Batesburg.
hour or so.
To top it off, Garden
It
Plain,
needs to be.
Kansas,
It will
just
be issued
reported
before this tornado
1.25
watch
inch
expires.
hail.
We will
All
see a
this
new watch.
activity has come in within the last 30 to 45 minutes.
All right. If you're just now tuning in, we do have a severe thunderstorm
We've
warning in
been
effect
tracking
for
this
Wichita.
cluster the entire live
We
stream.
are watching this come in through
this thing first
John
went severe.
McKinney's feed via Severe
Probably like
Studios
2,
and
3,
on YouTube.
maybe 3 hours before we even started our stream
this is
up.
what this looks like right now as it comes into Wichita.
I'm pretty
so
sure
we've got
it
a pretty
stayed
ominous
severe
looking
ever
shelf cloud there.
since.
Like I said, you'll be able to see this from Wichita State University pretty soon. But
it hasn't produced
a specific
destructive
location
winds.
of John's feed here is going to be
Let's see when
between
this thing went
Schult
severe.
and the Dale. So yeah, this is a look at that storm that's coming out of.
It really started to go
highway,
severe towards
out of Goddard
actually
in
5.
Kansas and what's coming towards
5 o'clock.
Wichita
yeah.
right
so
now.
that's actually we were live before that. So there was isolated
Yeah,
severes
that's a
on
very
it.
ominous
We had a
looking
severe
storm, for sure.
storm at about 2. Nope, that's 3. My bad. About 3:30, we had a severe on it, but then we went like a full 2 hours with barely anything, and then it went re-severe towards 5:30. So it's been severe warned ever since about 5:30 Eastern. It's stayed severe that whole time.
The biggest hail right now
So about
is
4
likely
hours straight.
falling south of Goddard, and the strongest winds are happening near. They're going to be happening near the town of Schult and Prospect within the next 10 minutes. So if we have 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts that will be associated with this, which I believe that
Man.
we will.
Imagine if the
that's where it's gonna
moderate risk never moved. Their original moderate risk this morning was almost into Colorado. I'm pretty sure it was almost into Colorado, at least from what I saw. Let me check. I'm going to recheck. Yep, it was all the way onto the border of Colorado. That's where your moderate went. That's how far west the moderate was. It was like this. I think it was a little bit more northwest than that. A little bit more northwest than that. But that's generally where your moderate was today for the first update. And look how far it has shifted to the southeast now. I mean, Tulsa, you guys were not even in the
so
enhanced
creepy how it's
risk.
just sliding
And now
across.
you are sitting on the edge of the moderate. On the day one outlook, the first one, you were in between the enhanced and the slight. Like the enhanced risk stopped at Bartlesville, Oklahoma. And now the enhanced goes all the way down into just north of OKC, just north of Edmond. Or Emond. I forgot how you say it. The outlook has changed so much. It has changed so much. It's crazy. And that's what summer does. That is exactly what summer does.
So if you're just now tuning in, we are watching the.
You can go
the
from.
storm
There was
move
also a
into
county
Wichita,
up here.
Kansas.
One of these counties
And,
up here, I think
right
it might
now
have been
looks like it's
Scott
packing
City,
70 mile per
possibly,
hour winds and
went
golf
from a
ball size
moderate
hail, and
to
we're
a
just watching it
marginal
roll
in one update.
From storm chaser
Moderate to
John
marginal.
McKinney's feed.
Could you imagine that?
Coming in.
Moderate to marginal in like one update there.
Absolute space glob.
Somewhere up in that area. I forgot exactly where.
So this is what you'll probably see in the downtown Wichita
Forecasting
area here
today
soon.
has not
Oh,
been
this is
easy
I'm
at all.
southwest of Wichita. Just I'm on the south and west side.
Not
show
been
you
easy
where I'm at,
whatsoever,
my
which is why
location.
I'm not sold on tomorrow being a
Here's,
prolific tornado maker.
There's Wichita. And then this is my location, this circle.
I'm not
here.
sold on that.
Come on. Yep, there's my location right there, right? in
Even
front
though
of
the
this thing. That
HRRR is
round
very
circle in the
confident,
middle of that
It's,
is where
in
we're
my
at.
opinion, it could still
And,
back off.
I think I might just, since the hail looks pretty big coming in, and as you can see underneath this thing, maybe not the best spot to stay.
I don't know, this stuff could organize
I
quite
think
well.
I'm gonna back out of it. It's just too.
Could organize quite quickly towards 11
mean,
o'clock. We'll see.
I don't want to get swallowed up by the thing, if you
Eastern.
know what I mean. Okay, let's get
Right.
out of here. We gotta back out of here. At least find a.
All
See you
right,
later,
so
Proxy.
if
Thanks
you're
for
just
tuning
now
in.
Find a
tuning in,
safer
we're
spot.
listening
Have a great
to
rest of
the
your night.
the planning process here of Storm Chaser John McKinney, who is giving us a really awesome view of the storm that's coming into Wichita.
Let's see. Spotter reporting 70
Kansas.
plus
So
mile an
I
hour
know we
winds
got a
on
lot of
Highway
people
60.
pouring in back in from
Leading
Wichita.
edge of the storm. So right
who
in
are
here,
interested in what's going to happen
right
here.
in
Just
here
know
we
that
had
we do have
a 70
another,
plus mile an hour winds
another
reported.
very strong storm coming in. And it's
Yeah,
likely
that's
going
right
to do
on the,
damage again.
the
This time on the
gust
south side of
front
town, over here
of
near
this cell.
Schult, Cessna. I'm concerned about our friends over here near
Sorry, I'm switching everyone,
71K,
trying to
the
get to a
Glenville,
good radar. There you go.
Connell, Keeler.
Yeah, that definitely makes
areas on
sense.
the
I'm
south
not
side of
surprised
Wichita
this is producing
specifically
70 plus mile an hour winds here.
Look to be hit the hardest here.
That is
but,
going to be
hey,
heading
listen,
north
even
of
up
Tulsa.
there
I
in
think
the
that
middle
will
of
stay
Wichita,
north
downtown.
of Tulsa.
This is
The
likely
main-
going to knock out the
the
power
main
again for
area
a lot of you.
of wind gusts
And,
should stay to the
do
north.
more damage with those 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and golf ball size hailstones.
But that's one of your MCSs, although a little bit smaller. It is one of your MCSs here.
Oh, my lands. See some
The NAM 3K is still very aggressive.
stuff out here chasing.
It still wants a long-tracked MCS tonight. Which is kind of crazy. I don't see that happening, really. I think it's going to be a mixture of MCS here and there, and then a bunch of clusters. But it wants this, all this junk, it wants it to all organize into an organized line in 1 hour. In 1 hour, it wants this storm, this entire line to be organized into
Strong outflow.
a large,
Winds right here.
very large MCS.
So let's.
One singular hour. What?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
getting
don't
set,
take this
set up here. I think
seriously
we're going to
because
we're going
it's
to be able
just
to
a
follow
model,
the
but
core of this storm all the way through Wichita through the which way
the new
camera system.
HRRR.
So once again, just go ahead and get ready. We're talking about within the next 15-20 minutes, the damaging winds are going to start in the Dale,
see.
Westlink Village over there.
Yeah, the new
towards
HRRR
Prospect.
simulates 100-mile-an-hour winds
We're going to have a good view of it here. So
at
once again,
midnight in South
the
Central.
goal is to stay safe. You want to
Kansas,
get
midnight
indoors and
Eastern
stay away
time.
from windows, and just know that
I
this
don't know how
first
that's gonna
big
happen.
burst of wind
I
and
find
hail
that
we get
nearly
here is not gonna be it.
impossible.
We're going to have another
Why?
storm that hits right
Because
after that.
where the HRRR
And,
has
that
100
might
mile an hour
cause
winds
some additional
happening, storms
problems
are already close
with,
to that area.
flash flooding that we might see. Also, let's take another look at the storm
Ooh,
that Jordan Hall
crap,
is on.
I
Because this
almost
is another
forgot to
really
pull this up.
nice looking storm out there in Hammond,
Hold on, you guys
Oklahoma.
can't hear this, right?
So
Okay, good.
we're going to keep a close eye on this one as well. But of course, the Wichita area, 500,000 people are in the path here. We were with y'all earlier, so we're going to make sure we are sticking with you through
Give
this
me a moment.
storm.
We can get some refuge. And
Okay.
maybe I'll get some fuel. Let's see how much it is.
All right, so we'll see. We'll see how our mess evolves in Southeast Kansas.
A new PDS severe thunderstorm
Yeah, I was
warning has
about
been
to
issued.
point that out.
We
I
did
was
just get a
literally
new PDS
seconds
severe
away from
thunderstorm
saying
warning
this
out
could be
here
producing
in
up to 80
Osage
mile an
and
hour winds.
Washington counties in
I was
Oklahoma. So
about
things
to
are,
point that out,
picking up
and
out
there you
here
go.
as
Radar
well
indicated
down
80
near,
mile an hour winds.
Palhusca. We do have.
Man, I should have said it.
We actually do have a storm.
I
chaser
literally
out
went
there.
quiet because I was
Nakoma,
about to point out
is out
how
there
these
right now on
velocities
that
look
storm.
like they could be producing
But
70
we've
to
got,
80 mile an hour
some
winds going towards
80 mile per hour
Barnesdale,
destructive winds now
in east,
moving through Palhusca,
northeast
moving
Oklahoma.
towards Barnsdall. So Barnsdall's in the path here. We got a population of
Very familiar
10,000
name there.
under a
But I
PDS
feel
severe
like that's
thunderstorm
not
warning.
the
You're
right
going to want to treat this
Barnsdale.
as if it was a tornado
I
warning,
swear
and
the
you're going to want to take
Barnesdale
shelter right
tornado
now.
was
This is what it looks like from
south,
Nakoma's point of view there
not
in
north
Palhusca.
of Tulsa.
Obviously, it's hard to get service.
I'm going to
But
look
we've
at
got
that.
those 80 mile per hour winds trying to come into
I'm
the
gonna look at
Palhusca
that.
area here, and then eventually into Pershing as well. So yeah, that
Here.
storm is going to try to burst down towards Tulsa. I don't know if it'll make it. It's
It
probably
was
gonna have a little bit
northwest
more
of
a-
Tulsa.
an easterly component to it.
It was to the northwest.
So yeah, we'll
So
keep
that
an
is
eye on
the
this though
Barnesdale.
as the storms continue to move off to the east. So also, Oklahoma City, we've got to watch for this big complex over here. If that makes it all the way down to Oklahoma City,
Yeah.
cause
That's the
some
Barnesdale that
problems
was hit
later.
by
But
a,
right now, our main focus
EF4,
is
I
of
believe.
course on Wichita.
You guys
as
can
that's
correct
where
me
We've got
if I'm wrong. I think it was
our
May
biggest problems
6th
right now. And Jared, that worked. So
last year. I think it was May 6th. Let me go back. So again, We do have a destructive severe for 80 mile
So
an
if
hour
you're just now
winds heading
tuning in,
into
we are
Barnesdale,
watching the approach
Barnesdale,
of a
northeast
severe
Oklahoma.
thunderstorm working its
in the
way
direct
into
path of
Wichita. We're
80
encouraging
mile an
everyone to
hour
take
wind
shelter. We got
gusts.
70 mile per hour winds coming in here, and we should be starting to see some of those actually.
Yeah,
But
we have
the
multiple
first traffic camera that's
MCSs. So
actually
here's
got hit,
MCS 1,
the power went out like
and
immediately.
here's
So,
MCS 2, and
we
here's
probably
Big
do
Boy,
have some
but
really significant
still
winds
very weak.
associated with this.
Large
So get ready
MCS 3.
over there near Cessna. You guys are next in line.
And then we do have a cluster here, too. So there's
121.
multiple areas of damaging
Yeah, you
winds
can
and
start
large
to
hail.
see-
All of them currently with low
You can
tornado
start to see
potential
some of those
for
rain
now.
bands whipping across the road here. This is what it looks like in
we'll see how
Tyler,
things-
just to the west of Wichita.
How things evolve here in the
And
future.
once again, we expect to see potentially
especially with
up
that
to
northern
80,
MCS
I'm sorry,
in
70
south
mile per hour
central
winds
Kansas.
and potentially
Very curious to
golf
see how the
ball
cold
size
front
hail here
progresses
as the
things up
storm
into
gets
a
closer.
line. See how organized it can get.
And yeah, we've got a pretty crazy view from Tacoma and Pawhuska, Oklahoma, where we have that PDS severe thunderstorm warning as well.
Sorry, I had to fix
And then
a
on
few
top of
things
that,
real
we've got
quick.
this
We're
awesome
probably
view of
gonna
the
get
storm back there near
a-
Hammond, Oklahoma from Jordan.
Watch very, very soon. Because we're about to see this severe storm get outside of our tornado watch. So I imagine they're going to issue either a big old mid-probability tornado watch, or it's still not impossible, a PDS severe thunderstorm watch, although I find it unlikely
So if you're just now
now.
tuning in, we do have
For
a
much of this
significant severe
general area
thunderstorm
in
moving
here.
into Wichita right now. This is what it looks like out there on the west side of Wichita.
We'll see.
As we've
I
got
feel
some
like that's
damaging
probably going
winds
to be
starting
issued
to
here
move
in the
into
next 30
the
or so
Dale
minutes.
area.
We still
okay?
have 58
Next in
minutes
line,
until
we've got
our tornado
Friends
watch
University,
expires. But I
Cessna,
feel like because we have severe
Murray
storms that are
Gill,
aimed right towards
Baineyville,
the
Hayesville,
western,
Sunset
northwest
Park,
side
you guys
of
all need to be
Tulsa,
getting ready for up to 70 mile per hour winds. And the
and
very real
almost
threat
outside of the
for,
tornado watch, we're probably going to get
potential,
a new watch
golf
here
ball
shortly.
size hailstones.
Really good timing on the SPC though, because in about 40 minutes or so, which their tornado watch
and look,
expires in
you can see
58 minutes,
it's going to happen.
this storm's going to
fast.
be out of the watch area.
The-
So
those-
really
That
really
wind
good
is gonna
time
kinda hit
set
out
for
of
the watch
nowhere, potentially
expiring.
up to 70 miles per hour as it does.
Really, really good timing on the SPC there.
20. Wow. Yeah, that's
Still a pocket of
powerful
80
wall of
mile an hour
wind that we're
winds here
seeing
heading
work
right
over,
into
Highway
Barnesdale
84 right now, over here near
over
Tyler
the next couple minutes.
in the western side of Wichita, Kansas. Wind gusts exceeding 70 miles
see.
per hour are going to be possible here. We've got another
Is that
view
right now?
from John McKinney,
Oh, it sure is.
who's also down there near
Little area of
Prospect.
velocity there. I don't
where
see
some of
that
those
being
winds are
tornadic.
just now starting
but
to
we do have a
whip
severe
over
out here
the-
west of
the road
Frederick,
where he is.
Maryland, right now. What in the world? Yo, what? Now that is a North Carolina severe if I've ever seen one. The heck? Is that actually... Okay, there hasn't been any damage reports in that severe in a while, ever since
Yeah,
it
we'll get some
entered
audio on him.
Spartanburg there.
We are right in the storm out, so
That is the most North Carolina severe I think I've seen. Literally light to
Function.
moderate rain capable of producing 60
Yeah, just,
mile an
the
hour
winds
winds.
keep getting stronger back here on this camera
That's the
that's in
lights.
Tyler.
And then you go over
This is
here to
specifically
Oklahoma.
near
This is your Oklahoma severe
if
for
you know
70
where
mile an hour winds, a
the
little bit higher.
Airport Lodge,
70
Wichita,
mile an hour winds
Kansas,
right in here going into
area is.
Barnesville.
If you know where that is,
And then,
the
of course,
Texas
80 mile an hour winds
golf, or
going
the
into
Tex
Barnesdale.
Consolver Golf Course. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. And the B-29 hangar. That's where
It's like an
this is
Oklahoma
right now.
severe
We've
is like
got
this
significant
crazy,
damaging winds coming through Tyler. So,
well
we're going to continue to see
intensified
these
thunderstorm
spread across
capable
other
of
areas,
60
like
mile an hour
downtown
winds
Wichita.
or greater.
We're next
And
in
then in
line,
North
we've got
Carolina,
Riverside again. We've
a
got
severe storm for
Glenville,
60 mile an hour winds
and
is
we've
like
got places
literally
like
light to
South
moderate
Seneca
rainfall.
Gardens and Hayesville.
Problem is, the light is shining in on my dash.
So the winds are going to continue to get more and
Man,
more intense
Ben,
here
I'll say it
as
how I
the
want to say
storm
it.
moves east. So
I'm
we
sure you know
are
what I
already
mean.
starting to get some damage
If
reports
it's on
in.
the
We've got
map
trees
and
down back
you
there in
can see
Westlake
where it
Village
is, and
again.
I'm in Oklahoma, you know what I'm talking about. Barnesdale or
And
Barnesdall.
just real quick, I know we're kind of focused on the
What? Barnesdall?
the
I'll
Wichita
keep calling it.
storm.
Oh,
but
you're
man,
right, 'cause it
Jordan's
doesn't have
view
an
of the
E.
storm back there in Oklahoma is just plumb wild, man.
Barnesdall. You know what I mean.
Absolutely plumb wild.
Y'all know what I mean.
All right, let's go back to Wichita, where we've got some crazy winds working into several different areas here.
Oh, yeah.
We've got
Kaylee, it's
we've
fully
got
outflow
eyes on
dominant.
just about every corner.
This
of
is
Wichita
outflow
here
dominant.
as the storm comes in.
That is outflow dominant. I don't see any spin up tornado threat on the northern edge for a bookend vortex at the moment, but we could see a bookend vortex eventually attempt to develop on the northern side of this severe. And yes, that's an outflow boundary.
So
And
if
that
you
is
are just now
also
tuning
known as a
in,
gust
this
front,
is a live look
which
from Wichita,
easily
Kansas,
could
where we've
produce
got
70 to 80
mile
mile
per
an hour
hour
winds.
taking over the west side
with
of
that
town
particular
right now.
severe storm.
We've got
Virginia.
some just really extreme
Aw,
winds.
man,
We've
I don't
got
even
damage
consider that
reports coming in
Virginia.
from Schult, the Dale, Tyler, and Westlink Village, where we've had up to
I
70
drove
mile per
very
hour
close
winds
to this area.
over the past
I
little
drove
bit.
right through that
And
portion
we're
of the severe
continuing
before.
to see these
That
winds increase in
I-81
intensity
corridor,
as they
I've been
move off to
right
the
on that
east.
interstate. Went right through Bristol.
Hey.
John's got a great view here from a gas
Almost
station
2 months
near
ago now.
Prospect.
That's crazy.
We've got people stopping
Nearly 2 months ago.
like right in the middle of the road here. Look at this.
No.
So all of
Outflow
these,
dominant
images
means that
that
it
you're
is
seeing
a
right now are
big
coming
time
from the
wind
west
bag,
side
and
of
with an
town,
environment like
specifically
today,
between Prospect
this storm
Park and
easily
Cessna.
could be capable of
This
producing
particular
70 to 80
camera
mile
is
an
near
hour
the
winds
Walmart
for the next
Supercenter,
couple hours.
Near that
wouldn't even rule out a
B-29
gust of
hangar
90
at the
mile per hour
Wichita
winds.
Dwight D. Eisenhower National Airport.
With that cell, that cluster. I don't know about that. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Had a delayed report, and I thought it was for now, but it was a delayed report.
Yeah, and I've lost
Now,
our
sometimes when a
cameras,
storm goes outflow dominant, yes, it can mean the storm's
that
dying.
we were viewing
But
near
right
the
now,
Dale.
with the
So it looks
environment
like
we
power's
have,
out
this
there.
is going to be a
So let me
cluster
zoom
that we
out a
deal
little
with
bit
for
here
probably a couple hours.
and just show you real quick what's going on via radar.
Like I said, I wouldn't rule out a
because,
gust of
this will give you a
upwards
better
of 90
wide
with
picture.
this storm.
The strong winds are just now moving
I
into
wouldn't rule
downtown
it out.
Wichita up here. And then
Depending on
Haley'sville,
how
Keeler,
much
Eastboro, you
further
guys
it
are
can
going to be in the path of
intensify,
this as
which,
well. But this is all
I mean,
coming
it should be in like almost the
from
best
west
environment. Yeah, pretty
towards
much the
east,
best
okay?
environment we have
So get ready
for
for it. It's
damaging
going to continue to
winds.
move east. Man, these
where there's
cars
a
are just
storm
having a
currently
hard time
active.
out here.
It's going to be moving into 1300 D Cape eventually, which D Cape is downdraft Cape. It sounds exactly. It is exactly how it sounds. It's downdraft Cape. It helps to intensify downdrafts, thus producing higher damaging winds. Oh, I completely forgot about Wolfus today as well.
If you're just now tuning in, we've got reports
All right,
of
that's severe
wind
for
damage and
70
potentially
mile an hour
winds,
winds
exceeding
observed is
60,
moving
70
directly
miles per
into
hour, moving
Wichita
into
right
the
now.
downtown Wichita right now. The strongest
So
winds
be away from doors
are
and
currently
windows,
occurring
and it
between
wouldn't be a bad
Cessna
idea
down
to
there
get to your
towards,
safe spot if you are in
Bainville,
Wichita right now.
moving over towards Keeler.
Southern
Keeler,
Kansas.
you guys are next in line. Hopefully you guys are ready for up to 70 mile per hour winds as this thing comes
Wouldn't
in.
be a bad idea to get to your safe spot. Let's see here. Give me just a moment.
Go ahead, y'all bot.
Okay.
I'm gonna let y'all.
Yeah,
go.
tomorrow's
It's
looking like
summarizing one
a
more
very
storm report
notable
here, and then I'll let
tornado
it go.
outbreak across Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan. So we'll be live for multiple hours tomorrow. Observed 70-mile-an-hour winds now out here
All right, Ryan,
northwest
buckle up.
of Thomas,
I've got a
moving
major
towards
storm report
Thomas
roundup for you, merging 11
and
incidents.
Oklahoma.
The plains are seeing the brunt. Kansas reports multiple 70 miles per hour wind gusts around Wichita and Clearwater, plus golf ball-sized hail in Goddard. Oklahoma's facing 70 miles per hour winds, causing roof damage and outages in Pawhuska. A 63 miles per hour gust near
Random
Camargo,
severe back
and
out here in the
half-dollar hail.
Panhandle of Oklahoma,
Topping it
southwest
off,
Kansas.
thunderstorm winds
Formed
have
out of
downed
nowhere,
trees and
just
power
northeast
lines
of
out in
Guyman, very
Rutherfordton,
close to where
North Carolina.
this storm first formed.
All right, if you're just now
4
tuning
hours
in,
ago,
this is our big
3
bad
hours ago.
storm that's coming through Wichita, Kansas right now.
That's
Get ready
exactly
up there in
where
the
we have a
Wichita
new
State
severe,
University area.
where
It's coming
this cell
towards you
was about
next.
3-ish hours ago.
Get ready.
New severe storm
over
just
there,
got issued northeast of
in
Guyman.
the Minnehaha,
33 more minutes,
Eastboro
1 inch hail,
area. We've got
60
5-10
mile-an-hour
minutes
winds
before it
there.
gets there. Keeler, in the Pin Air Mobile Home Park. We do have up to 70 mile per hour winds coming in right now.
This storm
And,
organizing
it does look
not
like these winds are damaging in nature.
not doing
We're
so
seeing
well
all
in
kinds of
southern
crazy
Kansas
stuff here
at the moment.
from our traffic cameras.
But it is going to be
across
moving
Wichita.
into a much more favorable environment for all hazards the further south it moves. Once it gets to the border of Oklahoma, Kansas, it's going to be in a much better environment. But I'm still not fully convinced it's going to intensify as rapidly as models say. If it does, the greatest wind threat will definitely be around Wichita.
How are you guys doing
like
in
right
Wichita?
in here. Depending on how far south it goes, as well as
Still, honestly, I think
how large it is.
compared to the round that we had earlier, we're definitely keeping power a little bit better
actually, I
this
think it would
time.
be
So that's
more
good
like
news.
this. More like right in here for the greatest wind threat. Towards 11 o'clock midnight Eastern time. About an hour or two from now. Look at Bofus. Let me close out a bunch of tabs
right
because
now,
if
some
I
of the
don't, it's going to
strongest
explode my
winds are
computer.
happening right over downtown Wichita, and they're
Make
moving
sure I have
into Minnehaha,
only the necessary tabs
Eastboro,
open.
Keeler, and Derby next. Also, I'm not seeing as many storm reports coming in. Now, it looks very intense. Like every camera that we look at, it definitely looks like there's a significant situation unfolding there.
Composite
but thankfully, I'm not seeing any damage reports like as significant as what we saw earlier. I'm not seeing those come in just yet.
Oh, all 18 members have the full line intensifying in 1 hour. We'll see about that.
Here's a look at everything that I'm looking at in the background here. Once again, we're
barely
watching
even an hour.
70 mile per hour winds move across portions of Wichita right now. We do have the strongest part of the storm is specifically right over Glenville and the South Seneca Gardens area.
18
and it's moving
models.
over towards Keeler and Connell. Now, downtown Wichita, you guys are getting hit pretty hard too, but I would say up there on the northern side near Riverview and Bel Air, which is a place that was hit extremely hard earlier.
That is definitely
it's not as bad there as it is, for example, down there towards Keeler.
Dude. And all 18 models have a very intense MCS moving into Stillwater, Oklahoma. Like, we're talking 80, 90 mile-an-hour winds in Stillwater, Pawnee, Perry, Oklahoma at midnight Eastern Time, 11 p.m. Central. Wow, some